Cristiano Ronaldo stepped out of the vehicle. The air was different here. It was fresh, it was clean. He took a deep breath. This was a world away from the roaring stadiums and the flashing cameras. He had come to a special place in Bali. Before him lay a lake, a true hidden jewel. The water was a deep, stunning blue. It was so clear he could almost see the secrets hidden beneath its surface. This was a place to reconnect. This was a place to find stillness. This was survival for the soul, a necessary escape from the pressures of his world. The path to the water's edge was a simple dirt trail. It was lined with lush green plants. Their leaves were wide and vibrant. Brightly colored flowers bloomed in patches, adding splashes of red and yellow to the scene. Ronaldo walked slowly. He wanted to take it all in. He was not rushing. This was not a race. There was no opponent to beat here except for the noise in his own mind. The raw beauty of the location was overwhelming. It was a powerful reminder of what truly matters in life. Nature provides. Nature heals. You just have to be willing to find it. He reached the shore. The silence was the first thing he truly noticed. It was a profound, deep quiet that he rarely experienced. In his life there was always sound. The cheers of the crowd, the shouts of his teammates, the constant hum of travel. But here there was only peace. He looked across the lake. In the distance, gentle green hills rolled towards the horizon. They seemed to cradle the water, protecting it. This was a sanctuary. It was a fortress of solitude built by nature itself. This was the wild at its most welcoming, a place of pure, untamed beauty. Ronaldo felt a sense of calm wash over him. It was a feeling he had been seeking. The journey to get here was worth it. Every step had led him to this perfect moment of tranquility. He was just a man standing before a beautiful lake. Not a superstar, not a legend, just a person in awe of the world's natural wonder. He knew this day would be special. It was a day for himself, a day to recharge his spirit, a day to remember the simple things that bring the greatest joy. This was his challenge, to embrace the quiet. The weather was perfect. It was as if the island of Bali had decided to give him a gift. There was no harsh sun beating down. Instead, a gentle warmth filled the air. A light, almost unnoticeable breeze drifted across the water. It made tiny ripples on the lake's surface. These ripples looked like a delicate dance. High above, a few soft white clouds moved slowly across the vast blue sky. They looked like cotton balls floating lazily. The conditions were ideal. They were made for a day of quiet reflection and patient waiting. This was nature's invitation to relax. The surroundings were alive with incredible detail. Tall palm trees stood like silent guardians along the far shore. Their fronds swayed gently in the soft wind. Closer to him, exotic plants with intricate leaves grew in abundance. He could see small, colorful butterflies fluttering from one flower to another. They moved with a grace that was mesmerizing to watch. Everything around him was part of a living, breathing ecosystem. It was a complex world, but it existed in perfect harmony. It was a powerful lesson. Teamwork is everywhere in the wild. Every part has a role to play. The sounds of the place created a natural symphony. It was music for the soul. He could hear the gentle lapping of the water against the shore. It was a soft, rhythmic sound that was incredibly soothing. In the trees, unseen birds sang their beautiful songs. Their calls echoed across the lake, a cheerful and melodic tune. Now and then he would hear the buzz of an insect flying past. These were not noises, these were the sounds of life. They were the sounds of a world that was at peace with itself. This is what you listen for when you're out in the wild. This atmosphere had a profound effect on Ronaldo. It stripped away all the stress and the pressure. The world of football, with its endless demands and its constant scrutiny, felt very far away. Here, time seemed to slow down. Each second was something to be savored, not rushed through. He felt grounded. He felt connected to the earth beneath his feet and the sky above his head. This was a raw and honest environment. It demanded nothing from him. It simply offered its peace. And he was ready to accept it. This is how you reset your mind. With a deliberate and unhurried motion, Ronaldo began to prepare his fishing gear. He took out a simple fishing rod. It was not fancy or complicated. It was a tool for a basic purpose. He attached the reel, his movements practiced and steady. He carefully threaded the fishing line through the guides on the rod. Each action was performed with focus. He selected a small shiny lure from his tackle box, its colors designed to mimic a small fish. This process was a ritual. It was a meditation in itself. It was about preparation. Preparation is key to survival, and it is key to success in anything you do. He stood at the water's edge. He held the rod firmly but gently in his hands. He swung his arm back in a smooth, fluid arc. Then, with a flick of his wrist, he cast the line out over the water. The lure sailed through the air, a tiny silver speck against the blue sky. It landed in the lake with a soft plop sound. The sound was small, but it seemed to echo in the profound silence of the location. He watched as the ripples spread out from where the lure had entered the water. Now the wait began. This was the test of patience. Fishing is not about the frantic energy of a football match. It is the opposite. It is about stillness. It is about being quiet and observant. Ronaldo stood there holding the rod, feeling the subtle tension in the line. He was completely focused on that single, thin connection to the world beneath the water. His senses were heightened. He was listening to the birds. He was watching the movement of the clouds. He was feeling the gentle breeze on his skin. This simple act of fishing connected him directly to the natural world. He was no longer a spectator. He was a participant. As the moments passed, his mind began to clear. The usual thoughts of strategy, training, and competition faded away. They were replaced by simpler thoughts. He thought about the beauty of the lake. He thought about the peace of this day. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for being able to experience this. The simple joy of being outdoors, of engaging in a timeless activity, was a powerful thing. It was a reminder that happiness can be found in the most basic experiences. This is the core of the human spirit, the need for simplicity, the need for connection. The day was not about catching a huge fish. It was not about a trophy or a prize. The real catch of the day was the feeling of complete and utter peace. It was the memory of the sun on his skin and the sound of the water. It was the freedom from his demanding schedule. This experience was special because it allowed him to be just Cristiano, a man enjoying a quiet hobby. It was a day of mental and spiritual rest, which is just as important as physical rest for any top athlete. This kind of recovery cannot be measured by science. It is felt in the soul. This day was a powerful reminder of what is truly important. Beyond the goals, the titles, and the fame, there is a need for balance. There is a need for moments of quiet reflection. This serene fishing trip in Bali provided exactly that. It was an escape that recharged his spirit in a way that nothing else could. He had faced many challenges on the football pitch. But this was a different kind of victory. It was a victory over stress. It was a victory over the noise of the modern world. It was a personal win forged in the tranquility of nature. The memory of this day would stay with him for a long time. When he returned to the world of bright lights and loud stadiums, he would carry this peace with him. He would remember the feeling of the rod in his hand, the sight of the blue water and the sound of the birds. This memory would be a source of strength. It would be a mental anchor, a reminder that he could always find a place of calm. The wild gives you these gifts. You have to be smart enough to take them and hold on to them. This is how you endure. What made this day so memorable was its simplicity. In a life filled with complexity, this was a return to the basics. It was about connecting with nature and with himself. It was a day without pressure, without expectations. It was just about being present in the moment. The beautiful lake in Bali had given him more than just a place to fish. It had given him a sanctuary. It had given him a perfect day of peace. And that, for Cristiano Ronaldo, was the greatest catch of all. This is the essence of adventure, finding peace in the wild.